In the young Sheldon universe, few dynamics have evolved more intriguingly than the relationship between Georgie Cooper, Mandy, and Georgie's ever-supportive and sometimes interfering mother, Mary. Now that Georgie and Mandy are stepping into their own spotlight with Georgie and Mandy's first marriage, fans are peeling back the layers to revisit a key moment in young Sheldon Season 7, Mary's risky emotional and spiritual bet on her oldest son. But could that moment be setting up something even bigger? A twist that connects unexpectedly to the Big Bang Theory and possibly redefines the Cooper legacy. Mary's gamble. Faith in the face of doubt in young Sheldon. Mary Cooper, played with grit and heart by Zoe Perry, has often found herself torn between her fundamentalist beliefs and the complicated reality of her family. With Sheldon charting a cerebral path to Caltech and Missy rebelling in classic teen style, it was Georgie who surprised everyone, including Mary, by stepping up with responsibility, a baby, and a partner he genuinely loves. When Mary made her bet on Georgie, it wasn't just about trusting him with Mandy and baby Cece. It was a spiritual gamble, trusting that Georgie's path, though unconventional, was guided by something greater. It was a huge pivot from how she treated him in earlier seasons. The lazy one, the screw-up, the boy always chasing get-rich-quick schemes. And yet here she was, putting her faith in his potential. Why that bet feels bigger than it seems. At first glance, Mary's change of heart could be chalked up to character growth. But creators Steve Malaro and Steve Holland hinted in recent interviews that Mary's decision was more than just maternal intuition. It was the seed of a narrative turn that could extend far beyond young Sheldon. Could this be the writers quietly laying the groundwork for a long-term arc that reframes Georgie in the wider Cooper mythology? Let's remember, the Big Bang Theory left several open threads about Georgie. He was described by Sheldon as a successful businessman, someone who helped support the family after George Sr.'s death. But we never got much detail, and while young Sheldon has begun to fill in some of that backstory, it has done so with a light hand. The real question now is whether Georgie and Mandy will go further, or even introduce a twist that changes how we view Sheldon's childhood entirely. The Big Bang Theory connection. A twist? Hiding in plain sight? The key to this theory lies in a simple, often overlooked line from The Big Bang Theory where Sheldon says, "My brother runs a tire store and makes a lot of money." That's it. But what if that's a deliberate understatement? Let's look at the pieces. Georgie starts out working at Mima's laundromat, hustling car parts on the side, eventually opening a tire shop, all of which aligns with what we hear in TBBT. But the emotional maturity he develops through his relationship with Mandy and their daughter suggests he may be capable of much more. Now consider this. What if Georgie's tire business is just the beginning? What if, through a mix of hard-earned wisdom and entrepreneurial grit, he builds something much bigger, something that helps bankroll Sheldon's education, sustains the family through tragedy, and quietly fuels the Cooper family's future? That's where Mary's bet starts to feel prophetic. It's not just about trusting Georgie with a family, it's about trusting him with the family. A rewritten future? There's also the question of tone. In The Big Bang Theory, Georgie is played with a mix of bravado and resentment. He's successful, sure, but emotionally distant, especially from Sheldon. Young Sheldon, however, gives us a far more layered Georgie, one shaped by his responsibilities and grounded by love. The new spin-off, Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage, gives writers the space to bridge that gap. Is it possible that Georgie and Mandy will explore the fracture between the brothers? Could we see Georgie's quiet sacrifices, ones that Sheldon never understood or acknowledged? Could Mary's bet come full circle as the key emotional cornerstone of the Cooper family saga? And then there's the final twist. What if Sheldon was wrong? What if the smartest person in the room failed to recognize the genius in his own brother? Not a scientific genius, but a human one. Mandy's role. The heart. Behind the hustle. Any analysis of Georgie's arc must include Mandy. Her influence can't be overstated. Played by Emily Osment with sharp humor and emotional depth, Mandy is the anchor that keeps Georgie grounded. Their love story is a slow burn, filled with tension, missteps, and genuine growth. And now that they're married, with a baby in tow, Mandy becomes more than a partner. She's Georgie's mirror, his challenger, and his co-pilot in adulthood. In many ways, Mandy might be the secret weapon of Georgie and Mandy. She has the clarity to see Georgie's potential even when he doesn't. And if the show is setting up a twist that reveals Georgie as the emotional MVP of the Cooper family, Mandy will almost certainly be the reason why. What comes next? So, what's the twist we didn't see coming? It might not be a single dramatic reveal. No time machines or surprise science projects. Instead, it may be a thematic one. That Georgie Cooper, the underestimated brother, was the quiet glue holding everything together. That Mary, in one moment of faith, saw something no one else did. And that the Big Bang Theory wasn't just Sheldon's origin story. It was Georgie's, too. As Georgie and Mandy's first marriage picks up momentum, viewers should keep an eye out for narrative echoes, emotional callbacks, and subtle rewrites of the Cooper family legend. Because sometimes the biggest bangs aren't loud. They're quiet, they're patient, and they begin with a mother's faith in her son. Let me know if you'd like a shorter version or formatted for a specific blog or site.